Thousands of people lifted the banner of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in Sydney today, more than 1300 years after it fell onto the plains of Karbala. Labayki ya Hussein means I am at your service, O Hussein. Imam Hussein alayhi salam was the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the son of the first Imam and rightful successor to the Prophet according to Shia Muslims. In his stance against tyrants of his time, the Imam spiritually and physically opposed oppression, resulting in the martyrdom of himself and 72 of his family members and companions.
Because of the stance Hussein had, his message is relevant at every time, and then everyone can apply it in their own kind of way. So your understanding can be of Hussein to stand up against corruption. Another person's stance can be self and within and making himself a better thing. That's why he said himself at the beginning of his stance, he said, I am making this stance not to cause corruption, not to invite for tyranny, but I want to reform the people. And that's what we want, is a reform and to stand up. So if you see, for example, adversities happening today under the name of Islam, which have nothing to do with Islam, and hijack the name of Islam, then obviously this becomes more relevant in a public display.
Until recently, those who have used the name of Islam for non-Islamic agendas, such as the self-proclaimed group ISIS, have largely committed their acts of terror overseas. But just yesterday, a Shi'i attending a Husseiniya in Sydney was shot twice and is in serious condition.
My dad just held his neck and ran inside, and I was like, what's happening? And then all I see was like blood running down his head and neck.
They drive past, they stop here, they make a threat, ISIS live forever, this and that. He said, yeah, we're going to come down tonight, we're going to kill you, shoot you, whatever, fight you.
Whether the gunmen were ISIS supporters or not, that didn't deter the faithful here today, a group that seemed even more vocal and unyielding than that of last year's.
I felt even more ready to come here. I was ready because, you know, I mean, especially what's going on in Iraq and the holy cities and the holy shrines, I felt that I was actually ready to die if something were actually to happen. But at the same time, I thought that Imam Hussein was protecting us, and it's a responsibility and duty. And just because how the companions and the family of Imam Hussein himself alayhi salam, wasn't scared to die for the sake of Islam and the message of Islam, I felt that I shouldn't be scared as well, and I should sacrifice myself for Islam if the time came to it.
Yeah, Hussein, if we were to live another year, then we would meet you here again next year. And if we were to pass away, what a great loss.
Justice for Imam Hussein, I will do everything. You know, for example, in L40, Karbala, wherever the dangerous, and our Imam, he will save us.
Or a line that's really ringing bells with a lot of the people I'm speaking with is that Imam Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, took a stand against the Islamic tyrants of his time, basically the ISIS of his time. And that resonates a lot when I say that to people, which is true. And essentially, he had a small stance with a few disciples in comparison to the number against him. But his message, it echoes through the ages.
The multicultural Ashura procession led by example yet again. The event was peaceful and paid respect to Imam Hussein alayhi salam and also to the Australian laws which guide any form of gathering.
As a Shia, I do feel oppressed, I do feel under injustice, and I do feel the movement of my brothers who are being killed and being massacred in other countries around the world because they are Shia, just because they're of a school of thoughts. And our aim is to promote the truth and promote love and peace from all Muslims and all nations around the world, regardless who you are or where you come from.
He only went out with 72 men, and his message still comes out to today. So we're still standing here, which means he succeeded.
Reporting for arifkhanmedia.
لبيك يا حسين.